Hello, Craftin' buddies. It's late night Lori coming to you from Wisconsin. We're going to pretend it's January 27th at 11:59 p.m. and I'm like 7 minutes late. So, I was supposed to have coffee and a card tomorrow at the coffee shop, but the coffee shop is closed because the owner is sick. So, we're having coffee and a card at the studio, and what does that mean? It means that I needed to clean the studio. And sometimes that is a challenge. So let me get my devices set up here. We'll make, oh, good, we've got sound. We have a wonky picture again. I don't know if there's a rhyme or reason to why it looks so long sometimes. I don't know. But let's get going here. Thanks for coming. Whether you are live or on the replay, I appreciate when you take a look at my videos. It's helpful if you give me a thumbs up, subscribe, share, comment, all the things that we YouTube people want to happen. Let me scooch this a little bit. There we go. We'll get rid of that little camera holder knob. So, I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States, coming to you from Wisconsin. I might have said that, and it is super cold. We are at -1 degrees Fahrenheit, so it is a chilly one, but it's not as windy as it's been the last couple of nights. So, if you want to see all things that are coming up, Stampin' Up!, shoot over to my website, latenightlori.stampinup.net, and all the things will be there. All right, Paper Pumpkin, if you're not subscribing, think about it. There's all kinds of fun things in a box that comes every month, and you have access to extra things. If you subscribe with me by February 10th, I will put your name in a drawing, and I will gift you this set of add-on dies. They're pretty cool. My schedule is about done. Tomorrow, well, later today, coffee and a card, it's here. Those of you that are local to me, my regulars, know about it. So I will see you later if you're watching me. Hello, Allie. Oh, you still have ice. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry for the ice. When is it expected to warm up by you? A lot of times I don't look at our weather until I open the window or open the door, and then I decide, or if I have to go out to see my chickens, then I decide what I need to wear. Okay. So, Stampin' Up! Has an exclusive joining offer coming up February 3rd. It's going to last for about a month. February is a short month, so you've got about 30 days. Not even. Yeah, from February 3rd to March 2nd. You can't go anywhere. It's not melting. Sorry about that. You guys are not equipped for that kind of weather, are you? Hello, Yuda. Welcome. How's it by you? Hot? Or temperate? Comfortable? It's cold by me. It's cold by Ellie. So, this exclusive joint offer, Stampin' Up! Is releasing a new product, the Stampin' Positioner. It's pretty cool. I was hoping mine was going to arrive tomorrow, but I looked at the dates wrong, and it's not coming until next Monday, or this coming Monday. So, as soon as I get it, we will play. However, I am going to be gone for several days. I will probably not be doing videos all next week, or I will be intermittent. It'll be a surprise, all right? So we will probably not play with this until, let me get my calendar here. We will probably play with this by the time I get my mail, maybe on the 8th, February 8th. But anyway, well, that's not too bad. 32-ish. So the nice thing with the joint offers with Stampin' Up! Is you get $125 worth of product. This is in the United States. It only costs you $99. You do not have to pay shipping. You do have to pay your sales tax. But you get to pick out whatever you want to be in your starter kit. So up to $125 worth, you pick out whatever you want, whether it's all adhesives or all paper or things that are on the last chance list or whatever it is that you want. When you're joining, you can also have access to pre-order stuff. That is pretty bad, Allie, when even the post office is not delivering mail. Yeah, your town is pretty close to the size of my town. My town's a little bit bigger than you. We don't even have a post office. The village next to our town has the post office. So, and it covers, yeah, our town and the village. And another town. So it covers 3 municipalities basically. But it's pretty bad because the Postal Service always says, you know, rain or shine or whatever, that they'll deliver. But I guess that's not always the case. So this joining offer is pretty cool. Once you join, you get a discount on all of your things. So whether you want to be a kitnapper and just take advantage of this free thing, this positioning tool comes automatically with your starter kit. And this is a $49 value. There is separately also sold the grid paper that works with that positioning tool. So this is a pretty sweet deal. And I've seen a lot of nice deals, but that one's pretty cool if you want that positioning tool. Product of the month for January is coming to a close. We're almost at the end of January. If they have more left over, if they haven't sold out, it will be available in February. But basically you get this stamp set for $5 if you purchase $75 in product. Again, that's in the United States. And if you look through the catalogs and online, you're not going to find another stamp set for $5. So, bonus days. My last announcement. This is also coming to a close because this ends February 2nd. All right, so that's next week, Monday. So we only have through Monday, just a few more days to take advantage of this. Bonus days is basically you're doubling your Stampin' Rewards. So with every $50 purchase, make sure that you're opted in for Stampin' Rewards with a Stampin' Up! Account for yourself to do your purchases. But for every $50 you purchase before tax and shipping, you get $5 back. And you'll get a coupon code so that you can earn them now and burn them February 3rd to February 28th. If you have questions on any of these things, shoot me an email. I'm at, oh, I guess I don't even have that on here anymore. LoriMacari.stampinup.net. No, LoriMacari.gmail@gmail.com. I should probably put that back on there because I don't even remember what my email is anymore. So we are going to hopefully do what should be kind of a basic card. We'll see how it turns out. Let me find some embellishments though. Yeah, we'll get some embellishments. I should probably get my alcohol blend. But I actually have 2 classes tomorrow. I've got my coffee and a card, and yeah, latenightLori.stampinup.net is my website for Stampin' Up, but to email me, it's LoriMacari@gmail.com. I had to think about it. It's been a long day. I was going to take a nap today because I got a phone call from the college where I retired from that I'm still involved with some things. And they had the audacity of calling me before I would normally have gotten up after I don't go to bed until 3 in the morning. So I've been up all day. Give me just a second. I'm going to grab these markers, the alcohol blends. And you can see I've pulled in a couple of these foliage pieces because we might use those. And I figure since I have them cut out, we'll use them. And then we're going to do some fussy cutting. See, I'm so used to calling it fussy cussing now. And we're going to need a little strip of this. And I brought out a couple of my retired punches. Now, one is 3/4 of an inch and one is 1 1/4. We'll see how it works out. All right, I do not have a sample. We're winging it. All right. We're just winging it. I have an idea. I have a little visual in my head from a demonstrator retreat I went to like a week and a half ago. So we'll see how it turns out. So what you need is a piece of thick basic white. And I want it to be 11 inches by 4 1/4. Now, you could do it the conventional way and tent it. I know, another mystery. Don't you just love it? It's a mystery for all of us. You could tent it so that it's like this, but you landscaped. But I don't typically do that with mine because if somebody wants to put it up, it typically will fall. So when I do mine in landscape rather than portrait, I do mine book style. I will call that book style. All right. So this is the thick. And then we have another piece that's 4 1/4. No, 4 by 5 1/4. 4 by 5 1/4. All right. So that's going to go here. We are going to use a few of these leaves. We'll have to decide what color we think works best with this. I think this is garden green. I think that will probably work best. Although there, it looks like there's some old olive there, so we could mix those. And this is Mossy Meadow. And I think Mossy Meadow is just the wrong kind of green. Can you see that well enough? Let me zoom in a little bit. We'll see how that looks. All right, but we can always kind of decide that as we go. So basically I'm looking for like 2 or 3 flowers that we can fussy cut. Those are my brand new tight scissors, so we're not going to use those. We're going to use some looser ones. All right, so I was thinking my main flowers, I was going to use the Pretty in Pink because that's the ink that I pulled out. These look a little bit more like fresh freesia to me, and I kind of prefer the pink. And then this piece, we're just going to cut a little strip that's like maybe 3/4 of an inch. And since our card is long ways, I want my spots to kind of go up and down. So I'm just going to cut this at like, I don't know, I'll do it at 5 inches. That's going to be longer than I need. So let's just do 6. And that's 6. So let's just cut about, we'll cut an inch here. I don't know if I want it to be an inch or if I want it to be 3/4 of an inch. We'll see how it looks later. Oh, and this paper, I suppose I should share that, huh? This paper is the Florals in Bloom Designer Series paper. This, I think, it might be from the annual catalog. I don't remember. But it's in my batch of stuff that's not from the new mini catalog. And I thought, you know, we've been covering a lot from the new mini catalog, but what about the other stuff that's been hanging around that's really pretty? So these are some pretty prints. This is the one that I pulled out. No, it's, is it or not? Yes, this is the one that I pulled out to fussy cut the flowers. You can see that a lot of the flowers were cut out for another project way back when. This little cloud cover stripe piece is kind of cool. That might have looked good too if we'd have done like a bluish. This is Secret Sea. So I wanted something, after working with the big florals, oh, that would be cute too. Oh, we'll pull this one out too. Let's pull a piece of this out and see. See if we have a piece big enough. Sure do. Since I was using those big florals, I kind of took a fancy to them. Don't ask me why. And I don't need these, those are extra. Almost confused myself for a second. So let's just do this at 1 inch. Now this is kind of gradiated where there's some fade in here. I think I want to maybe use that faded part. All right, so we'll decide which one we want to use. And I'm just going to get this out of the way for now. And we don't need our card base right now. Stick that on there, try to make it behave. We don't need the card base for right now, but we are going to add some color to this. And we're just going to do a little ink blending with the Pretty in Pink. Now, Pretty in Pink is an in color that is going to be fading away at the end of the current annual catalog. So the first part of May, it's going to be going away. And like I mentioned last night, as it gets closer to the close of the catalog, a lot of those colors will sell out. Cardstock will sell out. The ink pads will sell out. The re-inkers will sell out. So if there's a color that you want that's from the 2024 to 2026 in color set, which is 5 colors, you want to probably think about getting it sooner rather than later. Okay, so we're going to just add some color on here. Now keep in mind we're just going to put a couple of florals kind of here in the middle. Hello, Rosa Vera, welcome. How are things in California? Several of us are lamenting over the fact that we have cold winter weather. Although I will be coming out to California soon. We've got On Stage out there in March. I'm not sure if that will be enough or not. We'll see. We can always, once we start laying some flowers out, we can see how that looks. All right, and then we're gonna do some little speckles. See how that looks in Pretty in Pink. Oh, that'll look good. All right, I don't know that I need to, oh, we could probably, I'm gonna wait in case we need to blend more color on there. All right, so let's go ahead, close this up for right now. 56 degrees, huh? How warm do you think it'll be in March? So I think I'm gonna cut out maybe this one and this one, although that one's pretty cool too. Maybe I should cut out 3 of them. Which ones do you think are the prettiest? If we did 3 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're going to be kind of layered on each other. So we'll do this one for sure, because I think that looks good. And I'm not sure if these are supposed to be peonies or what they're supposed to be. Sometimes these flowers are kind of so neutral looking, it's hard to tell. Same thing with some of the animals, or the foliage pieces, I mean, animals. I don't know where that came from. Now here I'm going to cut really close to the flower because I don't want that green to show. But otherwise I'm just doing kind of a narrow border. And I'm going to go ahead and include this foliage piece. We might cut that off later, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how the spirit moves me. Or us, right? All right, I was trying to keep talking while I was fussy cutting. I was doing pretty good there for a bit, and then I kind of stalled, sorry. Talk amongst yourselves. All right. So now, hot spring and summer. So when do you start seeing the warm up? Do you think it'll be warmer than when we're at on stage? Are you going to on stage? Are you a demonstrator? I don't remember. I don't remember. Oh, I suppose I should put this right side up. 1, 2, or 3. We need 2 of these. Maybe this one, because it doesn't have a whole lot of stuff around it. And originally I was thinking this piece might look fun because I was looking at those, but those aren't going to be in our design. So I don't think this one's going to work. I'm glad I saw that one. That one will definitely work. Now this has a little bit of green in there, but we'll end up covering it with something else, I think. So I'm just going to let it be, because if I try to gouge it out of there, it's going to look silly. Now I know we're not supposed to use our scissors, but I know sometimes I do, and maybe that's my problem. To help us move things, we're supposed to just kind of move the paper. And usually that does work pretty good, but I do catch myself sometimes moving the scissors. And again, I'm going to cut kind of close around here where those greens are. And we'll add that little border when it becomes available. We have kind of a small group here tonight. I'm wondering if it's still because of all of the ice storms and whatnot. People might still be without power. I did not have any kind of news or anything on all day. I've been busy all day. I was doing stuff for the college and keeping occupied with that, and I'm not even done with that. So, all right, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Which flower should go? Which means we'll do this one. I don't know. Seems random enough. Who likes fussy cutting? I only know of a couple of people that are really into fussy cutting, and they find it relaxing. Me, not so much. Ink blending is probably what I find most relaxing, because I just like adding that gradual color and kind of adding that little pizzazz. All right. All right, so Rosa, you're a fussy cutter. All right. So I think I need a little bit more pink in here. Pretty in pink, right? Yeah, pretty in pink. Because I want it to, if these are going to go here, I want to have, and some of these will go up on dimensionals because we want some dimension in here, but we want a little bit more color. Oops, where'd my thing do? Yeah, now there's coordinating dies for almost everything, and when we get a stamp set without any dies, everybody's like, how come there's no dies? And I suppose I wouldn't even have to worry about going off on my scrap because the center's not going to be used at all, so I can just go all over the center, couldn't I? Now I typically, well, maybe I should ask first. Do you prefer dies or punches? I wish I knew how to add little polls on here. Dies or punches? So that's going to kind of go there. Can you see these? Should I cut that white edging off of there, do you think? And just have them straight flowers? I'm thinking that might actually look better. Or, I know, we'll just soften them up with some ink so they don't look scary, bright white in the eyes, right? All right, so Rosa, you like dies. Allie, Yuda, dies or punches? I wonder if that's something I can do in the settings. Nope. I'll have to do some research, find out how I can add polls. All right, so there's that. I think I like it better with the pink around the edges. So you like both. Punches are good. It depends on the punch. Labels are great to have from punches, I would agree. And if I'm mass producing, sometimes the punch is easier. But I really like dies. So I'd have dies, labels, punches. Even though a label punch would be a punch too, but. That would be kind of my usage. I mean, you see, seldom do I pull out punches as compared to the dies. I pull out the punches way more often than dies. Punches are great when you're having a class. Absolutely. Especially if you're limited for space and don't want people walking all over themselves to, you know, if you're going to have everybody do their own die cuts. For most of my classes, I do die cutting ahead of time. And if there's embossing, because even one of my seasoned people that's on my team ran an embossing folder through and she put it on top of the plates. And I'm looking at it and I couldn't stop her in time. And she ran it through and it was all wicked curved. And she's like, yeah, I don't know what happened there. I said, well, I can tell that you put it on top of the plate. It's supposed to go in between. Oh, yeah, I know that. I don't know why I didn't do that. Okay, well, thanks. Thanks. I did run it through a few times and it did seem to kind of flatten out a little bit. So that's a plus. So let's go ahead and put some of these on dimensionals. I'm thinking like so. You have a crafty corner? Yeah, I was very lucky because my kids are grown, so they moved out of the house. 2 of the bedrooms were on the main floor. And when we did a renovation, we did an addition for my parents to move in. Maybe you've heard this story before. So we started an addition in 2020. Great year to do an addition because all of the prices started going up. Who knew? We had no idea it was going to happen. So anyway, we did an addition. We took one of the bedrooms that had been my office, my home office, and merged it with half of the adjacent bedroom. So I have like a room and a half for my crafting space. And then the other half became the laundry room. And then past that is where the addition went. So I'm very lucky with the crafting space that I have. And we actually added on a separate entrance as well. So people don't have to go through the house to get to the crafting space. And my husband is very supportive. So that helps. That helps a lot. So I'm going to end up kind of gluing the bottoms of these down so that we've got some lift on the back side. All right. Oh, I guess I should have moved that over a little bit. I wasn't paying attention to where the top of the flower was. All right, so those are going to kind of go there. So let's go ahead and do these little speckles now. And we'll just do a few over here. And I'm just tapping lightly. I don't want to go nuts on it. Sometimes I turn my paper and sometimes I turn my stamp. I just don't want everything to look exactly the same, although that did kind of follow the same pattern. But I think what I'll do is, there's this little itty bitty flower in here, and I'm using, what am I using? What am I using? Forever Florals. I think that's what I've got. Yes. I'm using the Forever Florals. So this little flowers in here, these are the dies, but it coordinates with the stamp set here. So I'm using this speckle and this flower, okay? So you've got 8 different heart punches. I think I just have 2. I sold some of mine. I have some more heart dies. And is that every size circle? Squares, you collect the punches. I do not have square punches. I don't know if they didn't have any when I started stamping. We're just going to put a couple of these little flowers on here. They'll kind of be like our embellishment. And I just did that on the other side of the block. And let's stamp off a little bit. And those actually look like hollow circles. That's interesting. All right. So you've got a video you did 8 years ago on your punches. Like to show your whole collection. That's pretty cool. All right, so those are going to go there. And I think because those dark green ones are peeking out, we should probably use the garden green flowers here. What do you think? And maybe, do you think I should cut those off? Or do you think they're all right? Yes, on YouTube, huh? That's cool. All right, so I'm going to trim this off. So should we leave these leaves on or take them off? I'm leaning toward taking them off, but we can think on that for a little bit. We can think on that for a little bit, because that might kind of go there. Because I don't want to forget about this other strip that we were going to do. That's why I didn't start gluing stuff down either. That's a lot of leaves. All right, we'll figure that out in a second. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to factor this in. These do look like rose leaves, don't they? I think I'm going to cut these off. Yeah, I don't think the old olive is, or the, yeah, I don't think the old olive, or this might be Granny Apple Green actually. I think this is Granny Apple Green. I think that's just too bright. I'm going to cut these little gems off here. Most of it doesn't show anyway. And I'm actually fussy cutting backwards because usually I go from the left around because then I can see the top better. It's a curse of being left-handed. You don't know which way to go. All right, so these will go here. And then we won't have any kind of conflict with those leaves. All right, so we're going to add this behind here. And I guess that little flower there is not even going to show. So we're going to trim this, I think, to the edge of this threesome of X's or crosses. Okay. Because this is going to come behind here now. Come on. It's going to come back here. So I think I want to put another flower on here. Oh, my fingers, because it's so cold, my skin cracks and it's very uncomfortable. I didn't put any super glue on today. All right. I think we're done with those now. All right, so this is going to come here. And then we're going to have this here. And we're going to create a little scalloped effect here. Oh, that's part of the problem. These backings are not behaving. They want to come off already. All right, so that'll go there. And I think we're going to trim this off because I think we've got too many little leaves. We'll just let that kind of peek out there-ish. Okay. So the other thing we're going to do is we're going to, in white, punch a couple of circles. And we might actually have too many flowers on here because I kind of want, we might need to save that for another one. What do you think so far? Gorgeous, right? All right, we're gonna cut some circles here though, or punch some circles. I don't know how many we need. And that one's only a partial, but it doesn't really matter. Oh, I didn't realize my camera was crooked here. Sorry. Hope you're not getting dizzy. All right, so these, we probably didn't even need 4 of them. Probably just need about 3. We're going to make this appearance of scallopness. Now there is a die that's coming out. Thanks for hanging out with us, Yuda. We're actually almost done because I'm just doing one card. I've got a lot of stuff going on. Now, so there's a little scalloping going on there. Isn't that pretty? So this is basically going to be our card. So there is a die. I don't know if it's on the, I think it's on the pre-order. That has like a whole patch of these. Hello, Nicole. How's the weather by you? All right. Oh, and this is going to come here. And I'm going to raise that up too. That'll be up on dimensionals. And then we're going to put some embellishments on this as well. So let's get a little bit more of this leaf showing. Maybe we'll trade these leaves because this little bud should have like a smaller leaf footprint there. So I want this to look like a scallop. But anyway, there's a die that's on our pre-order that has like a whole batch, a bunch of them. Now this has, oh, that has a little bit of green on there, which I didn't want. Maybe nobody will notice. Maybe I can put some embellishments over it. So anyway, with that new die, you can create a scallop effect by just cutting off one of the rows. Well, I thought, well, why can't we just use circles and get the same effect? So that's what we're going to do. I think 3 is enough. I don't even think we need any more than that, unless you think we should put scallops across the top as well. Whoops. And if we're going to do that, I'm going to shift it down just a little bit so that that whole flower's not covered. So Nicole, you've got lovely sunny and sea breezes. That's okay. We have sunny, we just don't have warm. All right, so that's kind of there. So let me punch a few more of these out. And then you can tell me if we should have the scallops on the top and the bottom, or just the bottom. Yeah, I think it was too heavy with the flowers when I had all three of them on there. They're pretty, but then the scallops didn't show. So anyway, when I put these on, those scallops will be even, of course. So if we put this over here, we would need maybe one more scallop in there. What do you think? Scallops on the top and the bottom. Can you visualize that all right? Just pretend they look good. And we'll have them spaced out better. What do you think? Scallops on the top and the bottom, or just on the bottom? Your call. Anybody? Ooh, I'm getting some hearts. Thank you so much. And then we have a couple of different options for our embellishments. We can do some of these and either leave them white to coordinate with those scallop pieces. Oh, and we need to put a sentiment on here too. What did I do with that? I'm just gonna stamp on here just a note. And I think I wanna stamp that right on the card. Rather than have a separate a separate strip, I think maybe I just wanna stamp it right on the card. And maybe I'll do that in garden green. Do you think garden green? Top and bottom, okay. Sentiment and garden green, or maybe a strawberry slush. Is that the other color in here? Summer splash, let's see. Yep, strawberry slush. So I want the sentiment to stand out, so garden green ink. Yeah, that would kind of tie it all together, don't you think? All right, I think garden green, awesome. All right, so let's start putting these pieces on the back of here. Now, what I want to do with these is, I'm going to move some of these where you probably can't see them, but that's all right. I didn't lose them. We're going to put these here. I'm going to move this over for right now. And I'm just going to line these up, hopefully so that they're on the grid paper, or my glass mat rather, lined up with the grid. And that will be pretty close. What I'll do is make a separation if I need them to cover an end. That's really close. We could always just trim a little bit of the paper. But if we just shift these a little bit, nobody's going to see that one or that one because we'll have a flower there. I think that'll be pretty good. And I'm just going to put some seal on the back of here. And try to get that up off of there. Nice job, Lori. All right, I didn't get that on the end. There, now I did. And I got more on the glass mat. All right, so if we just, do those all look even? Do those look pretty good? I think so. And if we just go here, I think that worked pretty good. All right, now we can kind of do the same thing because that'll be the top. And this flower will go here, so it doesn't really matter where the gap is. In fact, one of those probably won't even need to be there, but that's all right, we're good. So this one went here, and I think these two went over here. So I'm just gonna put this piece right on the edge here and line those up there. That might have been the smarter way to do the first time. Just gonna put them right up to where the edge is. Okay. Put a little bit more seal on this side. And try to measure it up so that about the same amount is showing. So about like so. I think that one we need to shimmy just a little more. I think that looks pretty good. All right, so let's put this probably right down here will be good because that flower will go there. This one will go here. No, I think it needs to be up a little higher. And let's put that on some dimensionals as well. What did I do with my, here there. So I'm gonna just put the dimensionals on the ends so that if the center falls, it's all right because our flowers are gonna be on dimensionals. It'll be all good. Now that I want these to come off, they didn't want to come off when I was trying to pick it off with my fingernail. All right. So if I just gently set this here, I'm going to put this back over here just so I can kind of look and see that it's kind of straight. And I want to have enough room to put just a note in here. Maybe that's going to have to go down further. I think that'll kind of work. I think that'll work. All right, garden green. Let's get Pearson mat. So I got a good base here. I'm going to go right over here. And I'm not pressing hard. I'm just pressing steady. And I'm letting that ink soak into the paper. Beautiful. All right. Now, let's go ahead and put these corners on dimensionals. We could probably put the centers on dimensionals too. But I don't want to have it super thick because I don't want to have to pay more for postage, right? But if I keep them all around the edges, each layer will not overlap. So it'll be like a single layer of dimensionals when it's going through the postal machines. Make sure I'm opening the right way. Good. All right, so if this is going to come around here, that can go right about there. I'm not going to worry about gluing that down because this one's going to be on top of there, but I am going to put a little bit of glue under here. Once I decide, I'm not using that. Once I decide where these leaves need to go, let's just put a little bit of seal on the bottom of here. And then we can just stick those leaves right on there. And then we can just tuck these, since I stuck that on already. We'll just tuck a little glue under here. Maybe, if I can get the glue to flow. I guess I'll put a little glue on here. That's going to be hidden, so. All right. Pretty. Okay. And then, what do we want to do for the embellishments? Now, we have these, I think these are current, these pearlized faceted circles. We'll save this for another card. Or we can do these Moody Palette Glossy Dots. These are flat. So I don't think there is any spot on here where I have double dimensionals. It's all a single layer of dimensionals, the way everything laid out. So just watch that if you're reluctant to add extra postage. Okay. Oh, thanks for the hearts. Isn't that pretty? I think, what do you think it needs though? Your friend and mine, Stella. Right? We'll go out a little bit here. So I think we need some Stella. I shouldn't shake it when I don't have the cap on. I did that one night and I had Stella flecks everywhere. Not that it looked bad, it was kind of fun, but it was a bit much. And then what do? I shake it anyway. And then we'll just put some around these edges. And then we'll put some more here. Because Stella makes everything better. Okay. Now, what dots do you think? The white flat ones? White flat. Okay, white flat, white flat. All right, so do we want to color them pink or leave them white? I'm thinking kind of white to go with this. Do you agree? You both said white, so I'm going to guess you agree. So let's do... I had another pack of these and I thought I had some of the smaller size too. Oh, here we go. Oh, I do. I have some of the smaller ones. So let's do like the centers of these flowers. These flat dots are really cool. I've used a lot of them. And then I think we'll just do another one here because that gives us 5. And I like them in odd numbers. So there we go. A surprise card. It's a mystery for all of us. but I like how it turned out. So sometimes when you think you're just having a creativity block, just start cutting stuff and using, you know, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll look at the back of the designer series paper and I'll see what colors are in it. And then I'll just pull the colors and start making something. I mean, this actually would be kind of a fun color combination for Christmas too. A little unconventional. All right, so then on the inside, I think what I'll do is, oh, I could take the dimensionals off of this and attach it on the inside. But I think what I'll do is I'll just ink blend on another layer. So let's do another layer that's 4 by 5 1/4. And then let's do some ink blending and we'll make this card be done. I think it might be time to wash this brush. See how those bristles are coming apart? I don't usually wash my brushes. I just let them dry because I use them. I have brushes for basically every color because I like ink blending so much. But when it gets like this, then what I'll do is I will just rinse it really good underwater. I typically do not use soap. I know some people do, but I just rinse it out underwater and then just let it dry really good and just rub it around, and usually then it's pretty much back to new. Oh, and we can do some of these speckles on here too. And maybe even that little flower. Good night, Rosa. I'm glad you came in. You are welcome for the live. I love sharing the creativity with others, and I appreciate the collaboration. So Team Lori collabs, right? I think when we put our heads together, we can make some really beautiful things. Happy crafting, Rosa. I think that kind of works. And then we'll do some little speckles on here. And maybe stamp off a couple of speckles so it matches the front. And then a couple of little flowers. Whoops, I missed. That's pretty good. I think that works. Let's go ahead and add that on the inside and we'll be done. Although, you know what we could do, because the inside should be pretty too. We'll just put some Wink of Stella in there. Ah, fun. Well, I'm glad you like it, Allie, because that, I don't know, it's fun for me. You know, a lot of times I'm just not seeing something and then somebody will say something. Oh, of course, that's perfect. All right. Well, I'm glad you found me, and I'm glad you keep coming back. I don't know if you can see that Wink of Stella. I don't know if it shows, but it's spectacular. It really is. Gorgeous card. Thanks for your help. And on that note, I'm going to call it a night. I still have some prep work to do for my second class for tomorrow. My coffee and a card class is all set. I'm good to go with that one. So I will be back in less than 24 hours. So until next time, thanks for hanging out with me and happy crafting. I love that, Allie. Thank you. We're all buddies here. I do feel like all my peeps are my friends, you know? It's cool. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I should do the pink. I know some people really like pink and others don't. So I thought, you know, why not? But we might try a different color. Maybe tomorrow I'll do a similar card and we'll just try a different color. What's your favorite color? And you have to think too that even though, like, my granddaughter would love this because she loves pink and purple. But even though it might not speak to me, whoever I send it to might love pink. But if you let me know what your favorite color is, maybe we'll try to do a color for you tomorrow or later, actually. Oh, actually, it's Nicole. Sorry, I was thinking Allie was talking. So Nicole, what is your favorite color? The green. I have an idea for green. I'm going to leave this out as a reminder. We'll work with green. All right, now I'm going to call it a night. Thanks for popping in, Nicole. I appreciate it. Allie, Rosa, Yuta is gone, but thank you, everybody. Until next time, happy crafting.